So I'm not talking about wine here today. I'm talking about fresh produce in particular. And I'm concerned with whether there's evidence that consumers are willing to pay more for organic, all natural, and conventional fresh produce in particular. In the United States, the National Organic Program went into effect in 2002, and that is a process-based production method designation. And if the product is at least 95% organic, it can carry the USDA's organic seal. If it's at least 70% organic up to 95, it can indicate that the food carries organic ingredients, but it cannot use the USDA seal. In contrast with what is called natural and all natural in the United States, there's no clear meaning as to what that is. There's no USDA regulation of that, no regulation in general of that particular set of phrases, natural or all natural. So this is a bit confusing, and one might think that consumers might be confused a bit between organic, all natural, or natural kind of thing. And then we're looking at conventional commodities here also. These are commodities also that in terms of, we're looking at apples, we're looking at eggs, and we're looking at fresh broccoli. And so these are commodities where you really can't tell by looking at the product or tasting the product as to whether it's organic, all natural. I guess if you had the most subtle taste, you might be able to pick it up. For the most part, it's a credence good, and it requires there to be some kind of a label on there that may be to signal consumers something about their willingness to pay. So participants are 18 to 65 years of age. We obtained a random sample from the central part of Iowa in particular. They were paid $65 to participate. It took about an hour and 15 minutes of their time to participate in particular. And as I indicated, we have three commodities here: 3 pounds of delicious apples, 1 1/4 pound of fresh broccoli, and 12 grade A large eggs are the commodities we're dealing with. And what we're testing is going to be the effects of food labels and kind of packaged information or information. And our information packages are information condensed into one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper in particular kind of thing. So these are what our labels look like. So on the left there, you see what we would call a plain label. In the middle, we have what's called an all-natural label. And on the right, we have the USDA label for being at least 95% organic and carrying the USDA seal. So this is very much exactly like what appears on the package, and the package otherwise is clear cellophane. Well, excuse me. In the case of this one, there's not cellophane. It's just, it's like a little tray of fresh apples, and it's a little tray with 1 1/4 pounds of broccoli, and it's a little carton of eggs that's opened up. That's what it is. And other ones, why we have packaged goods kind of thing. The types of information that we're using here in this project is kind of an industry perspective, both on organic and all natural. So these are the glowing features that you would get from a website of that industry. And then we have and we have experimented with this before, the idea of having information that's independent, third party at the time the experiments are conducted. So this is taking kind of scientifically objective information at that point in time, kind of thing. So those are key pieces of information. As I indicate, they're limited to one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. They're organized under 3 headings: a general statement, a statement about production standards, and a statement about nutrition, appearance, and taste. That's in order to allow people to more easily interpret the information and make comparisons in particular. We package it not into all possible combinations, but we have the organic only perspective. We have organic with independent third party on organic. We have all natural. We have all natural with independent third party. And we have a no information baseline where the participant in our experiment doesn't receive any information in our experiment. They come to us with information, kind of thing and so forth. So they're bidding on what they have when they came. This lays out, in experimental economics, there's a well-defined set of steps and protocol that's followed. It does, when individuals arrive, they check in. they sign an informed consent form. They are given a packet of information. They're assigned an ID number so that their name is no longer used in terms of communicating with them. And then when they go into the seminar or into a room, it's like a classroom setup in particular. The products are in the front of the room. In particular, the individuals fill out a little questionnaire on social demographic information in particular. Then we move on to teach them about the experiment that we're running. We're running a little auction market, which is, it's called a random nth auction market, as opposed to Vickery second price auction or English auction, where the highest bidder pays their price. Vickery second price auction is where the highest bidder pays the second highest price. A random nth auction is where if you pick a random n of 5 and you got 15 participants, the 4 highest bidders will pay the 5th highest price. Why would we do that sophistication? Well, it turns out if individuals know that it's an English auction or a Vickery second price auction, they will tend to bid kind of carelessly and give low bids because they know they won't win. With the random nth, we raise the probability that everybody's a winner in particular. So after they engage in learning about our experiment, then we insert our random information treatment that they get, and they have about 10 minutes to read, and the people who don't get any information sit for 10 minutes doing nothing kind of thing. And then we move on into the real products in particular. So here is some of the information from our experiments. As you can see here, like this is organized by conventional at the top, all natural and organic. So if you look there at at conventional apples, they're willing to pay $2.51 for a 3-pound bag. For it's all natural, it's $2.84, and if it's organic, it's $3.05 in particular. So on average, they're willing to pay more as you move for conventional, all natural, and organic. We have a model that's explaining the bid price premium of organic relative to conventional, or all natural relative to conventional, and organic relative to natural kind of thing. And we're using social demographic attributes. That's the X's, the T's are the information treatment, the C's are the commodity fixed effects. So we are pooling across the commodities. You can see here at the top here, the average bid price premium for organic relative to a conventional commodity is 52 cents. That would be the average premium. For organic relative to all natural is 29 cents, and natural commodity relative to conventional is 23 cents. Now you can see off to the right there, there's a minimum, maximum, and some people are willing to pay more for conventional kind of thing than they would be for organic, and others the other way around. So that's one of the reasons of looking at the bid price difference in this scheme. So here are empirical results then on organic premium relative to conventional. And so we've got a commodity fixed effect in here, so we're pooling over our 3 commodities. What you can see here at the top are the impacts of the social demographic attributes are at the top. So we have significant effects of being female, age, not schooling, but income, per capita income. And number of children are important here. Children 0 to 3 is quite statistically positive in terms of willing to pay organic. However, 4 to 7, it's negative, which is surprising. And then 8 to 12 is significantly positive against. But the importance here is that the age of children seem to matter, but not always quite, and you might expect, except for the youngest children, you would expect that would be where the premium is. We find that if the individuals normally read food labels when they buy a product for the first time, they pay significantly more for organic relative to conventional. And in terms of the information treatments down here, we in particular find that seeing organic industry information doesn't really increase willingness to pay significantly for organic relative to conventional. However, getting, maybe not too surprising, the organic information plus independent third party reduces willingness to pay. However, if they get the natural food perspective, it increases quite dramatically their willingness to pay. There's some cross-information effects of natural food information on willingness to pay for organic relative to conventional. This is, I have results here for natural and conventional. I'm going to skip over that. There are not so many significant results, but this is the premium for organic relative to natural, and in particular, and you find many of the same kind of effects. Social demographic attributes matter, children matter very much the same way. And we come down here to information effects. And so we find that if you get organic information with independent third party, it reduces willingness to pay for organic relative to natural. And if you get natural industry perspective, you're willing to pay more for organic. So some of this is a little bit puzzling in particular in terms of that. But anyway, we believe that we've found some interesting results here on consumers' willingness to pay for some fresh produce here. We're looking at the bid price premium, and we're finding that social demographic attributes, whether people read food labels, information treatments, but perhaps in kind of a complicated way, explain these bid premiums. Okay, I'll take